now entering into the service of the government, and there are a few things you must understand why it works this way and not that way. Alam mo, I run on a platform of no graft, less crime, suppress the drug problem, which has gotten out of hand, or is this getting out of hand still, but we've been able to minimize at least the crime on the streets to the barest minimum. I do not promise you perfect peace because this is not heaven, but I commit myself to do everything not to compromise the next generation. If we have the numbers of 3, as Pedea said 3 years ago when I was the president of the Philippines, and if you will just put it at a very liberal incremental increase, that's about the 700,000 that have surrendered and sought rehabilitation. That number is staggering and it scares you. Because if I do not interdict this problem now, I am not pulling my own chair, but I would say nobody can do it if you just look at the horizon of politicians thereabout. Walang makakaya nito kung ang susunod na presidente, yun lang rin nakikita ninyo at rin ang tatakbo. You are in hellhole ka dyan. So, tingin ko, since wala naman akong ambisyon maging barangay captain uli, I am the president without re-election. I might as well just do it my way. Bahala na sila. But kayong sa gobyerno, I appointed you, then you must understand how it is to me. Alam mo, isa lang ang bayan ko. And for all of ako pa yung pinili ng Diyos na maging presidente itong tapos na election. I do not claim any greatness. I do not have special credentials. As a matter of fact, hindi ko kayo pinapatawa, it took me 7 years to finish high school. And, no, I just, until my father died and the cold realization that life's getting to be dangerous for me. And that was the time that I was able to. Now, I am a grandson of a Moro Maranao lady. Ang lola ko, Chinese. Lola ko, Maranao. Lolo ko, Chinese. Tatay ko, talagang Cebuano. And since we trace our lineage in accordance with my father's, ang sinasabi ko, pag tinatanong niya ako, ano ka, Bisaya? But look, I've never stayed in the Visayas even for a day. Ang ano ko lang dito is, yung, nakita mo yung speech ko, I will fight crime, drugs, and corruption. I did not include, mind you, if you still remember, the Mindanao issue in relation to public order and safety. Kasi nandyan na. As a matter of fact, one of the strongest reasons that impelled me to run was nobody, even just for a statement na ano, but to be talking about Mindanao. And Mindanao would never heal. Ako, pinadalan ko ng dagdag ng ano, but it is really masakit sa akin to kill a Moro or to kill a Filipino for that matter. Kaya I sought early to have peace with the communists. We are talking maybe in the fullness of God's time, we will succeed. We have connected with the MI. They are talking. As a matter of fact, they are helping us in the war against drugs. By the way, I did not say that I'm going to just pursue and prosecute. I declared war sa droga kasi hindi ito madala ng pulis-pulisan lang. So I raised that to the level of a national security threat, which really is, and called upon the army and the military to assist. Now, them is assisting us. We should be thankful for that. Ngayon, nandito naman yung Sinur. Well, no blows hot and cold, but apparently he has close control of some of the factions there. For example, yung Abu Sayyaf, it's no longer. So I have to navigate the stormy waters of that area there where I can find a formula. Bakit galit? Well, in 1521, when Magellan landed in Leyte, Mindanao was already 100% Islam. We were part of the Sri Visayas empire of the Malay race. Kaya lang, we revered the leader there, not by really the force of arms, but the blood. Nung dumating ang Espanyol, pinilit nila kunin ang Mindanao. And they knew that there were already Islam people there. Lahat Islam na, by 100 years ahead. Ngayon gustong pinilit nila, and there were massacres. Then came the Americans because of the Spanish-American War. The Spaniards lost, and one of the concessions that were given to the Americans by the Spaniards was to cede the Marianas, Guam, kaya mga pangalan nila dyan, Pilipino, and the Philippines, to include Mindanao. Mindanao resisted the Spaniards because they bought with them the religion, Christianity. Then they bought the people there. Then they enlist their cannons for those who did not obey. And so Visayas, with a sprinkling of few more settlements, surrendered hanggang Maynila. But Mindanao, because of its contiguous, hindi bang kalatagay ng Visayas, so walang top honcho, Mindanao stood on what was really the rallying point there. Islam. So ngayon, I have to face the Muslim secessionist threat. I have to deal with the communists. I have to deal with the Abu Sayyaf. And that's going to be a problem. Now, why? Despite or in spite the passage of so many illustrious leaders, sila Pindato noon, sila si many others, bakit? Bakit mahirap? Why despite of the billions poured by Marcos noon, hanggang, kung titignan mo dyan sa Public Works Office, kung lahat na ibuhos doon, talagang totoo yung mga appropriations noon, amount to be millions, the highways of Basilan would have crisscrossed already. Pag idugtong-dugtong mo, abot na ng Mindanao Island yan. Why? Why is there not really no desire to just get the money and spend it either wastefully or pocketed? Gano'n naman lahat ng politiko, not only the Moro. Ngayon, mga congressional insertions. Why? Can I have the saan si Bong? Hindi ako nag-intriga sa inyo. Ang akin lang kasi, ang Amerika, napaka-hipokrito. They know actually know that I have a serious problem here. 3 million plus for the Philippines, 4 million for Widodo of Indonesia. So we discussed this problem. Paano ito address? Nakikriss-cross ang droga dito sa atin. Not only that, the Jemaah Islamiyah sometimes visit us here, paputokin kami. Sometimes naman sa inyo, dyan sa downtown mismo, nagratratan kayo. Sabi niya, well, we'll just have to help each other. Sabi niya noon, nandyan si mga coffee, nandyan kami. Kaibigan ko lahat except dalawang ako ayaw kong itong bakit ang Amerikano despite also or in spite also of giving the money this is really the massacre of Budako. Look at the bodies there. Paano tayo for as long as we stay with America, we will never have peace in that time. Might as well give it up. Give it an independent. Not only in Holong, andyan si Ahmad Alonto, who's also appointed sa Mindanao chairmanship. Sa Maranao, marami rin. Sa Lanao. Pero walang Moro nagsasalita nito ever since. No Moro leader confronted eyeball to eyeball the Filipino. Bakit hindi natin? But they know. Mahiya lang sabihin. Alam nila lahat dyan na matagalan to. For as long as you stay with the West. Ayun, militaryo. May isa hinahanap ko yung isang dito. Postcard pa. Ginawang postcard nakatindig sa suso ng babae, gano'n ang baril. Ginawang postcard, meron yan. Alam niyo saan ko namin nakuha to? Sa archives ng Amerika. Kaya yung mga special forces, they have to go. They have to go in Mindanao. Maraming mga puti doon, they have to go. Re-earn ko yung foreign policy. Hindi ko lang masalita noon out of respect or I do not want a rift with America. But they have to go. Dito sa mga mas lalong iinit. Makakita ng Amerikano yan, patayin talaga yan. Kukunan ng ransom yan, patayin. Even if you're a black or a white American, basta Amerikano ka. Kaya yung sino yung isang sa kung Pilipino ka, medyo palakihan lang ng pero nagalit ako the last time, not because he was a Christian. I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. Basaan lang ako magsimba. Kung nandyan yung, if it is a Friday and I'm there, I go to the mosque and pray. Kung sa simbahan ako mag-abot, well, basta walang pare, I do not want to listen sa do not moralize on me. Kagaya ka sa mga. So itong Amerika, una binanatan ako. Sinong bibira? Yung Amerikanong sabi na raporto dito. And threatening me, bringing me to the International Court of Justice. So si Ban Ki-moon, maya nagsalita about human rights. Yung tapos, ang sagot ko, lahat na gano'n yun. But yung sinabi kong minura ko siya, I swear to Allah, I never mention his name. Sabi ko, wag ninyong gawin yan under your review the tapes. Wag ninyong gawin sa akin yan. Kasi pag ninyo akong bababuyin. Ang hinihintay ko doon si Ban Ki-moon, pati siya, si Obama. Pero I never mentioned the name. But they responded hurting words. You know, Mr. Obama, when you accuse me of killing, which you do not have also the facts anyway, whether legitimately killed in an encounter with the police or those simply murdered by the cohorts, wala kang ipinakita. And you said, Duterte hurting words. What? You cannot even, you have not even apologized to the Filipino nation. Why only to the Moro? Are they not Filipinos also? It was just a question of religion. Who came in first? But they are our Malay brothers, our blood. And when you do not ask, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Ang Iraq, pumasok ang Britain pati Amerika on the sole allegation that there were weapons of mass destruction. They killed Saddam because of his strong man. And where is Iraq now? It is a failed country. Pinakialaman nilang Libya, they supported the rebels of Syria. Look what happened. All failed states. In Vietnam, 50,000 Americans, ipagbibida nila. But how many Vietnamese people died? For nothing. Eventually, the communists won. But they created a raucous here somewhere. Vietnam is just across our shores. China is upper portion. Kaharap natin dito sa ng Vietnam. Yung likod dyan, Thailand. Then Cambodia, Laos. Ang Amerikano talaga. So, why blabber about me? I know that you should know, you know, that I have a serious problem in my country. And why don't you just rehab them, treat them? Kaya ka magmura. Alam mo bakit? They know, and I know, and you know, na pumasok ako dito sa gobyerno midstream. Yung budget tapos na. The budget that we are working on now is the frame budget that was prepared the previous year by the Aquino. Wala namang nakita doon danger about drugs because nobody, until I became president, that the naked truth came out. That we are really a drug country. In Davao, I was very strict, so there was kind of a limited space for them. And besides, totoo yan, I turned straight to them. Sinabi ko, pag ayaw niyong umalis, talagang papatayin ko kayo at pinatay ko. So, what about? So, what's so raucous? What's your problem about killing people, criminals, destroying the next generation? It's not just the youth of your neighborhood. You are actually compromising, if you do not do anything now, the next generation of Filipinos. Because then, by that time, drugs would be uncontrolled and already would have its widespread. So how many? Newspapers keep on tabulation. Ngayon, 1,000. Gawin mo na ng 10,000. Puro mga drugista. Saan ang drug lords? Hindi lang ninyo alam. Really want to know saan yung drug lords na hindi taga rito? Ang drug lords dito, hindi atin. I would not even an eyelash. Mga in-check. And they are now operating outside. They have this digital map of the Philippines and they can direct the operation. Yun dito, ang mga naglaro, sino? Mga police o na. Tapos sabihin ninyo, maliit masyado ng problema because it's a simple matter. It is a medical issue. Really? If it's a medical issue, what we do now? What should we do now about this 3 million? They're all unaccounted. Yung 700 lang nag-surrender kasi takot. So why? Anong sabi sa interview ni ANC kapon, sila si Teddy Boy pati. So why most of them surfaced? Because they feared for their lives. That's the problem. In the Philippines, meron tayong death penalty noon. But because wala mga bayag to, and they do not have really they never implemented. O sasabihin ng mga congressman, i-restore mo yung death penalty. Nandyan rin yan eh. Kita mo naman. Kasi yung mga leader, hindi talaga in-implement. Kung ako ang nag-leader noon at nilagay niya ako for the last 17 years, kaya hinihingi ko uli. Kaya ang argument is, wala, may death penalty noon. Wala man. Wala namatay, wala. Kasi walang, you removed actually the essence of criminal law is the fear to violate the law. What prevailed was not the fear of the law, but the impunity and the absence of accountability. Kasi pag general na, pag gobernador na, pag mayor na, walang maglapit kasi takot. O kita mo ako, sinabi ko, bigyan ko kayong 24 oras, papatayin ko kayong lahat. Eh, di gobernador mayor, takbuhan sila, pawis-pawis. Kasi walang takot. Maski anong, however you bring the matter to a physical or mythical or spiritual issue, for as long as the essence of fear is not there, fear of accountability, may papanagutan. Kaya gusto ko nga death penalty. You answer for your deeds so that you will not be prevented. If you do it, alam mo, there are lawyers here. There are two theories of criminal law, criminality. One is the positivist theory. Ito yung sa Amerika. He can be rehabilitated, returned to the mainstream of society. O, tita mo nakikita. Rapist, pasok. Rape, labas. Ang atin klasikal. Ako klasikal ako. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's the basis. Nagkasala ka, kung may death penalty, kasalanan mo yan. Kasalanan mo yan. No. Kasi batas eh. When we are only 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, o isang barangay o isang syudad, pwede yung possibility theory mga. The imported European mga EU na you cannot trade with them if there is a penalty of death sa mga criminal law books mo. Ito mga kahipokrito. It was Britain and America who entered there. Who divided, by the way, the Middle East? It was France, America, and Great Britain. They divided, they invaded it many times before. Got the control of their oil and this partition at yung Iraq, Iran. Huwag na tayo magbulahan ganon. Sumakay itong si Obama, sumakay si Ban Ki-moon. Dito sumakay. Alam mo kung ninong laro ito? Oo, nga ako nang sabihin. Yellow yan. Dito na lang. Anak, hindi ikaw ha? Indamit mo lang man. Sorry ha. Sorry. The dress has nothing to do with it. Sinakyan na ulit. They can think that if they can build a case against me, I'll be impeached. My God, I'll tell you frankly. When I assumed office, sabi ko, in this quest of mine, I am prepared to lose my honor, my life, and the presidency. It does not mean anything. If it interferes with the basic principles of my life. My values are not good as yours. Yan ang sabi mo. But it is my own value. I have a set of rules to live by. I've been true to that since I was a young prosecutor. I became a special Tanod Bayan prosecutor for how many years? Became the vice mayor, and mayor for 23 years, one time a congressman, and one time the vice mayor of my daughter. I'd like you to know that I have lived by the values that I have believed in. Good. Dito, it will be a clean government. There will be no corruption. I will not tolerate it. Pag hindi ko kaya, mag-resign ako. Pero patayin talaga kita muna. Di ba ka didadamay, may hinihiya mo ako eh. Not the reason myself, it's the full of... Ito eh, nandito si George. Bakit ko nilagay ang mga sundalo? Alam mo ngayon, wala kang takot ng batas. Alam mo ginawa nila sa loto, I'll tell you, dyan tayo binira ng gusto. We lost almost billions and billions of pesos. Kasi yung small time loto, tapos yung wetting ginano nila, isang operator lang yan. Nakuha nila yung concession sa to. Marami ang outlets dyan sa loto. Kanila yan. Started that, they merged it with the wetting. So pareha lang man numbers, ihulog nila ito. Yan lang ang kinita ng gobyerno. Simple case of manipulation. Simple naman. Ito, kanila na. Hindi ito malalagyan mo yan ng babae na honest o lalaki na papatayin lang yan. Pilipino pa yan. May maambus yan. Sabi ko dito kayo sa police muna. Lagay ko, yung Marines. Si George naman. Kilala ko itong mga generals na ito. Really, truthfully honest. I have observed it during my time. They were doing their, building their careers in Mindanao. Wala akong narinig dito sa kanila corruption. So sila ang kinuha ko. It's a very limited arena because sila rin nakilala ko noon. Maraming honest na military. The problem is I do not know them. So yung mga honest na dumaan doon, yung mga classmate ko sa dormitoryo dito, pati yung sa eskwelahan ko, yun ang mga tao na hindi naman ako imbitado dito sa Manila ng mga social gathering. I was nobody. Who would ever invite me sa debut. Wala kami noon. Mahirap lang. Wala na kapag alam kung sino kami. Pero, Budaho. Just let me. The first battle of Budaho was known as the Budaho Massacre. Was a counter-insurgency action fought by the United States against the Moros in March of 1906, during the rebellion phase of the Philippine-American War. Marami tayo. Spanish-American, Spanish-Filipinos. Tapos Spanish-Americans, Americans-Filipinos. May gera tayo sa kanila. So we claim this because it was a war against kanila to. Tama. If you want, I'll give you each and every one. Tutulo luha mo dito. And who is protesting about the death of people encounter with an encounter with the police? Of course, may mga tao talagang sinalvage. Those who were not afforded any extrajudicial. Hindi namin trabaho yan. Pero kung ako noon, hindi ako makagalaw. Ako, anong sundalo, ako assign sa Mindanao, ang nako na rape, namatay. Hindi ako walang leader na, ngayon, pagdating ko, pag wala kayo niyan, I'll give you 3 months to do it. You're all out of the service. Huwag mo mag-sweldo tapos wala kayong trabaho. Sige, hanapin mo. And I end by saying that, sila mismo ang mga abogado ng doktor ng West, constant use of shabu, even after 6 months. It will shrink your progressively. Every time you do it, it shrinks your brain. So 1 year, you are no longer viable for any rehabilitation. Wala na. Tapos na. So kung itong mga 3 million ito, mga gunggong to, you have a choice of what? Patayin mo, galigin mo, pakain mo na lang niya sa mga hayop. O we wait for the next budget. Wala akong pera sa budget pan. Who'd ever realize, who could ever project that when I would come in and start pressing the buttons, they would come out by the hundreds of thousands. And we would be placed in a position. Kaya ako nag-appreciate sa China. Sa pag-isip ko, kayo lang rin ang nagdala dito, they were cooking it. Sabi ko, pag nagluto ka ng shabu, dyan sa international, parang abutan ka ng mga cutter o Pilipino, sabihin ko, pasabugin mo. Huwag kang matakot. We can always confront them. Let's say kayo. You want your cake and eat ito? Pasabugin mo. Ganon rin ang pinag-usapan namin ni Widodo. Piracy. Piracy is a crime against humanity. Wherever you are and you're caught, you can be tried in that jurisdiction. Pasabugin mo. Paano natin malaman? Habulin mo muna. Pag nakita mo gano'n, if you see just a single basket shotgun na luma, pasabugin mo na. That's the agreement between Widodo. Destroy the enemies of humanity. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Was nobody, even just for a statement na but to be talking about Mindanao. And Mindanao would never heal. Ako, pinadalan ko ng dagdag ng but it is really masakit sa akin to kill a Moro or to kill a Filipino for that matter. Kaya I sought early to have peace with the communists. We are talking, maybe in the fullness of God's time, we will succeed. We have connected with the MI. They are talking. As a matter of fact, they are helping us in the war against drugs. By the way, I did not say that I'm going to just pursue and prosecute. I declared war sa droga kasi hindi ito madala ng pulis-pulisan lang. Is the next generation. If we have the numbers of 3, as Pedea said 3 years ago when I was the president of the Philippines, and if you will just put it at a very liberal incremental increase, that's about the 700,000 that have surrendered and sought rehabilitation. That number is staggering and it scares you. Because if I do not interdict this problem now, I am not pulling my own chair, but I would say nobody can do it if you just look at the horizon of politicians thereabout. Walang makakaya nito kung ang susunod na presidente, yun lang rin nakikita ninyo at rin ang tatakbo. You are in hellhole ka dyan. So, tingin ko, since wala naman akong ambisyon maging barangay captain uli. I'm the president without re-election. I might as well just do it my way. Bahala na sila. But kayong sa gobyerno, I appointed you, then you must understand how it is to me. Alam mo, isa lang ang bayan ko. And for all of ako pa yung pinili ng Diyos na maging presidente itong tapos na election. I do not claim any greatness. I do not have special credentials. As a matter of fact, hindi ko kayo pinapatawa, it took me 7 years to finish high school. And, no, I just, until my father died and the cold realization that life's getting to be dangerous for me. And that was the time that I was able to you are now entering into the service of the government, and there are a few things you must understand why it works this way and not that way. Alam mo, I run on a platform of no graft, less crime, suppress the drug problem, which has gotten out of hand, or is this getting out of hand still, but we've been able to minimize at least the crime on the streets to the barest minimum. I do not promise you perfect peace because this is not heaven, but I commit myself to do everything not to compromise. Now, I am a grandson of a Moro Maranao lady. Ang lola ko, Chinese. Lola ko, Maranao. Lolo ko, Chinese. Tatay ko, talagang Cebuano. And since we trace our lineage in accordance with my father's, ang sinasabi ko, pag tinatanong niya ako, ano ka, Bisaya? But look, I've never stayed in the Visayas even for a day. Ang ano ko lang dito is, yung, nakita mo yung si speech ko, I will fight crime, drugs, and corruption. I did not include, mind you, if you still remember, the Mindanao issue in relation to public order and safety. Kasi nandyan na. As a matter of fact, one of the strongest reasons that impelled me to